So, I'm hoping the audio is good on this. We got just the stock GoPro audio, but taking the old Sherman L out today. I have, I believe, coming up on 1,300 miles on it, so just wanted to leave a little online review, and I figured I'd talk about some other stuff that I have on the wheel. So let's just walk around and give you a nice little surround of this. Got the Grizzla armor. I got Grizzla flow pads. I got the upgraded Beidou XL pedals and the Pidzoom Horn. And I got the ShredLights, the rear and front. So I figured I'd just talk about some stuff and give you a little review. Alrighty, let's put this in my chest pack. So I figured I'd do some off-road and some on-road here, and give you an honest review of how she feels. I have the stock street tire that it came with, and I like it. I probably do around 50-50 road and trails because we have a lot of dirt roads and fire roads around here. But street tire handles it great. I also put the lowering pedal kit on here, which I personally love on this because I sit down on my Sherman more than I also have a Lynx that I keep mainly as a trail wheel, so I don't sit down on the Lynx really, and only take her out when I'm going on trails, because since I've gotten the Sherman, whenever I want to go out on a longer ride, obviously I'm grabbing this. So get on some of these trails here. It's been very hot lately over in I'm in South Jersey, so we've had a heat wave as of late, and it has been extremely hot. So when I do ride, I'm riding pretty fast, and I haven't got a chance to really hit too many off-road trails because you know, it's really hot and you want the wind in your face. So I'm trying to enjoy it today while I got some time. People back here that put a bunch of junk, but that looks like a feeder for deer or something like that, which is interesting. These are public trails, so very weird to hunt deer here, but hey, people also dump a bunch of bumpers and old car parts here, so can't say much about that. People should definitely start respecting nature a little more, or they're going to take all this stuff away from all of us and ban everyone from riding everywhere. But that's another conversation. Anyway, let's get on to the Sherman, talking about how she feels here. But again, I got 1,300 miles probably. I didn't look exactly, but probably right around it. It was 12 something the other day when I checked, and I went on a couple rides, so probably 13-ish. And really great wheel. It doesn't feel like it's much heavier than the Lynx, so it was coming from the Lynx, it was very comfortable transition. And I am not familiar with all these marks, so somebody's came down here recently and left some. But sorry, I was trying to figure out where I was at, but I think I know now. Anyway, the Sherman is the wheel that you grab to do everything on. You don't worry about range very much. You can ride for a few hours without thinking about it. On my Lynx, I found myself hitting top speeds for the first, you know, maybe half hour-ish, and then having to tune it down because by the time you get the battery drained a little bit, those top speeds are a lot harder to hit again. So it is a great wheel. I think the Lynx was the best wheel of 2024. And obviously there's still a couple wheels to come out here in 2025, but I still think the L claims 2025 because by the time most people got theirs, it was either end of 2024, and most people, unless you're in a nice southern US climate or, you know, somewhere where the weather's nice, you can't ride all year without having to gear up heavily. It's freezing. But yeah, we're coming up on the funny farm here, which is this little volunteer animal rescue that they opened up as like a petting zoo and visitation type of deal for local people. Really cool. And always have some events going on here for locals, which is awesome. There's not much to do in my area, so hence why this wheel is perfect for me. It gives me something to do at all times. Always entertaining. Alright, let's not scare people. Down the street here. Have a good day. Alright, I'm not going to go too fast because I won't be able to talk, but try to stay at this comfortable speed. Let me adjust my mirror here. Trail bouncing all over the place. I will say the Pidzoom mirror I do like, but very hard to keep on a certain angle, even if you tighten it. So, only criticism. I previously had one of those mountain bike rear view mirrors. Got it. Yeah, we're going on back roads here, and again, I don't go too fast because then the wind will overtake my voice. So on a couple of these sections, I probably won't be able to talk too much, but I'm probably going to do this in a two-part here because my GoPro tends to cut out for heat in the summertime, unless I'm going very fast to cool it down, which I'm not right now, so I'm gonna have to two-part it. But still, Sherman L, it is a great wheel. Let me take a seat here while I talk. Yes. I have nothing bad to say about it. I feel like the only negative things at all are with how they do spit it out, the pedals. I hate that, you know, you have to adjust the pedals, buy pedal hangers and adjust. I do like how on the Oryx they can be adjusted and they're already spiked, because that's extra cost that I had to do with the Lynx and the Sherman L, is buying the upgraded spike pedals, and obviously for the L, the pedal lowering kit to make seated riding more comfortable, like I am right now. What's cool with a longer range wheel is that you find yourself going on further rides. You're not worried about running out of battery. You can go a decent speed and not worry about the overpowering voltage sag beeps that scare the living crap out of normal riders. Definitely find myself grabbing this wheel more than my other ones now, because obviously of the range that you get. Alright. adjusting my chin strap. It's got a new helmet recently. I got the LS2, what is it, Evo Subverter, I believe it's called, and really good helmet for the price. So I got it to match the color of my Sherman, lime green. I'm gonna take a ride to Estelle Manor Park, so when this video does cut off, I will, restart it up when I'm at Estelle Manor Park. But I just wanted to ride on the road a little bit while I talked about how comfortable this is on the road. I find myself very comfortably hitting the beeps. It really feels great to take up to top speed. I really wish that the speed ceiling was a little higher. It tops out for me, I weigh around 220 to 240 pounds depending on what time of year, how good I'm eating, how much I'm lifting, how much gear I have on, all that good stuff. But I hit my top speed beeps at about 45 to 49 depending on how full the battery is. So I do wish that it would let me to take it a little higher without putting it in high speed mode, which lets me drain that battery a little faster, and I'd prefer, you know, not to drain battery faster. So the Oryx sounds like a really fun wheel, but it also sounds like a extremely large wheel. I have had a Master Pro, and that thing felt like a tank. So I am about 5'9", maybe 5'10" with shoes on, and I am a strength conditioning coach at an MMA gym called Jersey Kickboxing, and so by all means I'm in decent shape. I'm not an Olympic athlete or anything, but I've been doing this for a long time with the strength conditioning, and I'm no slouch, and it still feels extremely heavy, that Master Pro. So I'm watching the reviews online of the Oryx and hearing people say that it doesn't feel that heavy for how big it is and all that good stuff, but to be realistic about how heavy of a wheel that is, as soon as you touch dirt or sand or any of that not hard packed terrain, you know, hard packed dirt's probably fine, but anything that's not hard packed terrain, that wheel is going to displace so much that it's just going to kick out on you. And it's not like a dirt bike where you can just kind of power through it. A lot of the times, because we're on one wheel and it's that gyroscopic stability, that when it kicks out, your whole stability kicks out. There's no controlling it gracefully. It's kind of a hold on and pray type of deal, and that's not fun for me. I'm coming up on 37 years old now, which I understand is not that old in a grand scheme of things, but it also is old enough to know how long it takes to rehab one of those injuries that you get from falling off on one of these things. So I try to mitigate the risk as much as possible. It's just being a responsible husband and father. I don't want to be laid up in bed and make my wife take care of me and have to take care of our daughter alone. I have a 3-year-old, so you know, there's always that comes into play when you think about risk. When I was younger, I'm actually kind of thankful I didn't find these, because while I might have had more adventures and more time to go on adventures, I 1000% would have been pushing myself way harder because I was younger with no injuries and young joints and bones, and I would have easily just took way more punishment and probably had some surgeries involving getting some metal put in me. So I'm happy that I found it at I've been riding for 3 years now, so what I find it at 32, I think 32 or 33 I found it. Yeah, I think I'm coming up on, it's my 4th year riding, so probably have around 10,000 miles combined with all the wheels I've had. I have had a lot of wheels. When I first got into this, my wife was pregnant, and I was just starting to discover riding, and I was looking for an outlet because we were always at home, and I'm you know, taking care of her, and in my spare time, just you know, making sure she's okay, and anxious about the baby and all that stuff. And it was my my release, my way to de-stress, and just too much fun to think about anything else in too much depth while you're up here riding. So, but anyway, that was a good time in my life to find riding, and it made me constantly worried about getting hurt, which has made me ride more cautiously than I would have when I didn't have a reason to worry about getting hurt. So but I really hope that the wind is not drowning out my audio. I have been talking for a good amount of time now, going down this back road. I realize it's boring, but this is just me talking about the Sherman. Yeah, take a look at it. You know, going anywhere from 15 to 25 miles an hour here, just to try to keep the wind noise down. Again, I'll start the second part of this at Estelle Manor Park after I arrive, restart my camera, which I'm sure will cut off at some point from the heat. So if it does that, I'll be back on a round 2 video. But we only cross a couple major roads here. I try to stay off the main roads, try to stay away from cars. I'm thankful to be in an area with a lot of back roads and a lot of dirt trails. Let's take a seat again. There we go. Let's see, what else we got to talk about? The Pidzoom Horn. We got the Pidzoom Horn. See if we can get that onto my finger here. But she's fun. Pidzoom Horn. I hit a crack in the concrete there. I had to move. But let's see here if you can hear it on camera. She sounds pretty loud, which I like, because all I had before was the Pidzoom Horn that's a grade down, which is just a loud, like, electronic beep, not an actual horn that's going to register on decibels and be able to hear when you're on roads and you're honking at cars. Yeah, my other horn for Pidzoom, that's the electronic one, is on the Lynx. I believe that's maybe the 35, I think, and this one's the 65. And then they make one that's even louder, but it came with wiring and extra little battery pack you had to put on it, and I just didn't want to deal with all that. But yeah, the horn gets a great grade to be able to be on your finger like this and just hit while you're riding. Really beneficial, because you don't have much time to be able to alert another vehicle in an emergency, and that it gets it done as fast as possible there. Yeah, my Lynx, because the pedals being higher, seated riding is just not comfortable. I can do it. It's just not comfortable. You feel like there's a lot of space in between, and I'm only 5'9", but there's a lot of space in between your butt and the seat. So when you go to sit, you catch that instability wobble, and I just don't like it. This one, you can, you know, sit and do full speed and feel fine. I will say, obviously, the bigger diameter of the tire affects that seated riding feel. So 20-inch wheel does feel stable, and you know, it's not a big deal. But that 22-inch wheel, because I have a Master Pro, like I said, I just sold it, but I had a Master Pro, and that thing is just so comfortable to sit on. And that, I will say, is the only reason that I would ever think of a 22-inch wheel again, if they could cut down some of the weight, is because when you sit down, I mean, it feels like you're sitting on a stool. Your knees aren't even really fully bent, and that alone, just being able to transition from seated to standing without instability, feels amazing. And dude, you can seated ride that thing, and if it wants you to go as fast as possible, so it feels great. I never did a review on a lot of my older wheels because of me being an unexperienced rider, and to be honest, I hate editing GoPro footage, so I'm going to release this footage raw. So I apologize for the rambling and the non-structured audio, but I mean, I'm just having fun, guys. I like to ride. You know, I don't have too much free time in between my daughter and running a business with my wife, and being a strength conditioning coach, and you know, tending to my students at the gym and classes and all that stuff. It's I just want to ride. I don't want to be a YouTuber that spends hours editing footage. I just want to spend my hours that I have riding and enjoying riding. So I'll post some videos here and there. I might start posting more because I do go on some rides here, and it wouldn't be a big deal to just start randomly talking and reviewing things, and you know, having a little vlog thing on YouTube of me riding. But it's not like something I want to do. I don't want to spend that much time editing. So hopefully whoever does watch this likes just raw honesty and unedited audio, because clearly I am not rehearsing any of this or writing a script down. Like, I notice a lot of these guys on YouTube, they probably have a whole itinerary in their brain of something they went over, like a school project that you had to prepare for and make sure that you were well versed on before you started speaking on it. But I am not doing that, guys. I am just not. So got a car coming up behind me, so I'm just gonna get over here, try to stay out of everybody's way. It is definitely a back road here, so people drive pretty recklessly. Try to stay out of everybody's way here. I wish this guy would hurry up and pass me. I'm literally about to get over and side of the road just so he hurries up. There he goes. Alright, now we can go a little faster. Anyway, yeah, this is it's a popular ride of mine. It is a ride that I pretty much only do with my long range wheels, because it's a good amount of road. They're back roads, but you know, there's only short sections of dirt trails, and this street tire handles them just fine. Obviously, knobby is great when you're doing some harder stuff with some elevation, so it can bite into the hill a little more, but there's very little hills in South Jersey. We are flat as a pancake here. So alright, going back to an off-road trail. Now, if you hear a little bit of squeaking, that's the mirror. As I said, pretty impossible to get it in a perfect spot. So on these off-road trails, she does bounce around a little bit, but not a big deal. I also have a Cardo head unit, which after having one is very hard to ride without, because you want to listen to music and be able to hear your text messages and phone calls come through and not miss them while you're riding. And then I also have a chest pack. Let's see if we can see this. I have a chest pack here. It's the West Slope chest pack. Wonderful investment. I got another one this year because I've had this for a few years and it's gotten a lot of use, and the Velcro's worn out and all that stuff, but easily worth the money. I still use it as my just bag that I don't care about. I have a new one with lights on it and all that good stuff. But anyway, yeah, West Slope chest pack. You get a thumbs up. It's a wonderful thing to be able to have your phone on your chest, especially on the unicycle. You know, I'm riding, I can just look at my phone. And the newer one has an opening on the front to where you can even, have your phone's camera recording, because of the little window that's in front for the camera to record. Right here. I don't know if it's going to alert me by making a noise when this finally stops recording,